Coming up on Cardinals Insider.
Most of the people that stay in this organization, they genuinely care about the greater good of the St. Louis Cardinals and they care about themselves, and that's a pretty special thing.
I sit down with Card skipper Mike Shildt. Plus,
they might have a feel that they're looking for to kind of get that groove in their swing.
There's more to batting practice than you think. And later,
if you don't learn Spanish in this group, you're never going to learn, man.
We hit the practice field with our Spanish broadcasters. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm your host, Ozzie Smith. We begin today's show by talking spring training and the 2020 season with Cards manager Mike Shildt. First of all, before we get started, let me say that I think that last year, from a managerial standpoint, you had some real challenges you had to deal with, and you did a super job with what you had to deal with as a first-year manager. So that was good.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I had a lot of good people around me, and the only thing I was smart enough to do was to listen to them. And then, we had a good team, so you know how that works. The clubhouse was great, and it starts there, and then the guys in the field, they laid it out there every day. So I appreciate you saying that, but it really had a lot of support.
Yeah. Why do you like spring training?
Look, we're getting back to playing baseball. Winter, we spend talking about it, thinking about it, but now we get to get back on that beautiful field and get to see them play the beautiful game of baseball.
Tell me about this club. What is special about this club?
Yeah, we've got more experience, Ozzie. It's important. We've got good experience. We've got guys that have been in the organization for a while, obviously. The Yachties, the Waynos. I was just talking to Dex. He's going on his fourth year with us, and has been in the league now going on 11 years. So Matt Wieters is back. Colton's been here since 2013. Carlos been since 2013. You got guys like Andrew Miller at the back of the bullpen on his 13th year. So we've got guys that are seasoned that continue to be hungry. I mean, Yachty, Wayno, those guys are hungry guys still. Dex, they still want to eat. They still want to get after it, which is good. They're not satisfied, but they got these young guys that you'd like them to be hungry, but now are more seasoned to go with that hungriness that now allows us to continue to move forward together. And our staff's now been together a little bit longer, so now we continue to understand how we work together and do things even better. Explain
why there's so much emphasis on speed and defense.
Yeah, it doesn't slump. Really. I mean, it's just this is a challenging game, and it's a lot of situational awareness prior to what's taking place. It's about communication. And then it's about technique, like I say, fielding that ground ball, but also being in the right spot, making sure, your spacing's proper, and then speed helps because you can just cover more ground. And you do both, you become an elite defense.
Now, you've been around for a long time. How, through the years, have you seen the game change?
Oh, gosh, Ozzie. I remember talking to you about this 3-4 years ago about shifts and all the technology that's out there. And, of course, we have analytics and, look back and we've added 3 departments to touch our players in the last couple of years, and it's great. We've done that, but we've got baseball development, so more of the analytics, and we got performance, so more about the science of the athlete and the training and how they get the diet and the different measurables that they can figure out in the baseline, and it's going fast, and there's more rules changes. We got a 3-batter minimum this year. Now we got a 26-man roster. We got mound visits. I mean, the rules have changed quicker than they ever have.
Explain that a little bit, exactly what the 3-batter minimum.
So 3-batter minimum, we go bring a reliever into a game. He has to face 3 batters. If he comes in and gets the first guy out to end the inning, that can be it for him. We decide he goes back out, he still has to face 2 batters. If he faces 2 batters, inning ends, he has to go back. If we send him back out, he has to face 1. A double play ball does not count as 2 batters. If we want to intentionally walk a batter, that will count as 1 hitter. So, running a bullpen is just going to be different this year. We're very intentional about, we always will be, but very much working on our guys, making sure that the relievers can get righties and lefties out.
You've been with this organization your whole career.
Mm-hmm.
What makes this organization so special?
really candidly people like yourself, people that care about the organization as much as they care about themselves. You know, you played here, great career, Hall of Fame career, and you still want to be involved. You still come around, you still work with our guys, you still talk to the group, you come in and during the season, you care about how we do. And most of the people that stay in this organization, they genuinely care about the greater good of the St. Louis Cardinals and they care about themselves, and that's a pretty special thing.
Thanks for being with us, and good luck this year. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, my privilege. Thanks, Ozzie.
Straight ahead on Cardinals Insider.
What's each guy's best routine and what's the best thing to get each guy ready for the game that particular night?
The anatomy of batting practice. Also coming up,
Well, each of the clubs have 6 pro-grade full baseball diamonds, but also a half field as well.
Roger Dean is more than just the ballpark. Learn all about the Card Spring Training Home. Batting practice is a daily ritual which begins on the spring training backfields. There's a plan behind each BP session, and hitting coach Jeff Albert sets the focus.
There's a certain amount of variety like early on in spring training, and guys are sometimes just like building up their number of swings and their reps and things like that. But once that routine really gets dialed in, especially as the season goes along, you might not need the same number of swings to get dialed in and ready to go for the game. I'd say the probably most general goal is just a couple basic things. That's like getting your mindset ready for the game, kind of seeing a thrown ball on the field, that kind of thing, and trying to get good pitches to hit and do a good job in the strike zone, so have some awareness in general of that. But now a lot of it is you can individualize it pretty specifically based on each player. So a player might have a certain routine that he likes to go through. He feels good about his swing, like hitting the ball starting out by hitting the ball the other way and then kind of working up and driving the ball the whole field. That's pretty common. And so they might have a feel that they're looking for to kind of get that groove in their swing. And other guys might want more specific information about like maybe a game situation or working on a different part of the strike zone. So, really just seeing the ball, getting a good pitch to hit, getting your mind ready for the game, and then based on the guy and the individual kind of working on like specific feel of their swing, or just trying to get that little kind of game mentality and focus going and getting ready to go for that night's game. For me, it's not say we're working on something new or like very technical that's like versus kind of reinforcing something that has already been kind of worked on. So I did this work before we went out for batting practice, and I got this feel that I liked for my swing, and I'm just trying to carry that over to the field. It's like, oh yeah, man, that looks good, or like whatever it is, or having that conversation with the player. What the conversation is a lot about most of the time is what's going to happen in that night's game. Like, who's the starter? What do we think they're going to do? How are they going to try to get us out? What's our best chance for success? I think that's one thing that's kind of changed a little bit about batting practice. A lot of times batting practice on the field, you go out and do that, but there's a lot more options now with what you're able to do in the cage, and it's not so much we have to take this number of swings on the field versus trying to figure out what's each guy's best routine and what's the best thing to get each guy ready for the game that particular night. So some guys will hit on the field more than others.
Straight ahead, learn what's beyond the outfield walls at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. The Cardinals spend spring training here at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. Most fans only ever see the main field, but the complex is bigger than just the ballpark itself. Emily Stevens has more on the Card Spring Training Home.
The St. Louis Cardinals have made Roger Dean Stadium their home for 2 months every year since 1998. Let's go take a look inside at everything spring training. Emily Stevens here, joined by Mike Bauer, the GM here at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. Mike, thanks so much for having us here today. This is cool.
Well, welcome. It's nice to have everybody down from St. Louis at our yard down here in Jupiter.
Let's start with this field. Since we're standing right here on it, it's shared by the Cardinals and the Marlins. Why is it so special to have 2 major league teams sharing this facility?
Well, Roger Dean is one of a handful of dual team facilities, both here in Florida and Arizona. The one thing that we have that the others don't, though, is we have 2 Florida State League teams that play here, meaning we have 30 spring training games, followed by 140 Florida State League or minor league games at the Class A level. It makes us one of the busiest ballparks in America.
What exactly does the game atmosphere look like here at Roger Dean?
Well, spring training's a little bit different than the regular season. First of all, the games don't count yet, you know, but the guys are a little more loose. They're a little more approachable. They'll sign autographs and take pictures, and you know, the proximity is really a pretty cool thing. You know, the games are during the day, you know, so it's just a fun, cool, chill vibe.
How many fans does this place hold?
Roger Dean holds up to 7,000, and for Cardinals games, we average about 6,500, so they're generally pretty full.
And there's practice fields all over this place. What happens back here?
Well, this is the main Cardinals practice field. So when you think about spring training, most people think about the games and the action and the 7,000 people, but this is where the real work happens, right? So the club has 6 full-grade professional baseball diamonds and a half field, but this is the one that they primarily use. We take care of this one a little bit more than the others, and it's just pristine.
Well, Mike, when should fans start booking their flights and start purchasing their tickets for spring training games?
Well, our tickets for spring training generally go on sale mid-October for season tickets, mini plans, packages, things like that. So I would encourage them to book then because it's a great experience. You're going to want to get out here, get your hotel early, get your rental car, get out to the practice fields, and it's a free experience. You know, you can't beat that, to come on out and see the guys in a different manner.
And you also can't beat the weather. It's absolutely beautiful here. It's a vacation, definitely away from St. Louis at this time of year. Mike, thank you so much for joining me today, and it was really nice to meet you.
My pleasure. Nice to meet you too.
This season, we'll be taking a look back at days that changed Cardinals history. This week's date is tied to spring training. Here's Brett McMillan.
The date was February 28, 1998, opening day at the brand new Roger Dean Stadium here in Jupiter. The Cardinals had just relocated from across the state in St. Petersburg from Al Lang Field. 98 not only offered a look at the new ballpark, but it provided a glimpse into what Mark McGwire would do throughout the summer. Big Mac went on to hit 70 bombs in 98.
There it goes! See you later!
Power he displayed early on here in Jupiter. February 28, 1998, the day that brought us Roger Dean Stadium, and a day that changed Cardinals history. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Brett McMillan.
Coming up, feel the energy of the Grapefruit League opener. That's after the break. Have you listened to the Cardinals Insider podcast yet? Each week, the show welcomes players, executives, and alumni. Plus, hear audio from the Cardinals radio archives. Take Cardinal baseball with you on the Cardinals Insider podcast. Listen or subscribe wherever you get your podcast or at cardinals.com/podcast. The Cardinals have one of the largest English radio networks in pro sports, but you can also hear the Redbirds in Spanish too. Polo, Ascencio, and Bengie Molina are on the call for Los Cardinals. We put a mic on them for spring training workout.
All right, guys, Polo, Ascencio, Bengie, Molina here, spring training, and we're gonna give you a little bit of a behind the scenes or inside the scenes look of what you can expect when you come to spring training as a player.
Doing this is a lot of fun, Polo. It's gonna be great taking you guys out there, talking to some of these players or coaches that come to us.
And they talk
we don't
to
go
us.
to we don't go to them. They come to us.
We don't talk to them. They talk to us, and you are going to be witness of just that.
Come on, let's go.
Every morning, you can see it over there behind that backdrop. It's Mike Shildt talking to the media every morning. I just hope we don't get in trouble because this is not media, but today we have special access. Este está bien loco, este está loco.
Here we are, guys.
It's one of my favorite parts. You see all the players,
hanging around.
And the high numbers, you know, like 97, you have Herrera, you have Carlos Soto.
Gorman, 81.
96. Then eventually, it goes lower and lower. Do you remember your first number when you first got to spring training as a player?
67. I never had the 80s or 90. Oh, they're done.
Pick up their bags and
head out to their stations.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
My bad.
Is everything good?
Yes, sir.
You look like you were so focused. You have a good coaching staff, these kids will be okay.
we have a good days because of you. The energy you bring in
I
here.
bring energy every day.
Well, not every day, but once in a while.
As you guys see, Goldie's getting his ground balls in, and he's working on side, on his feet, and that's what you do in the games because the ball comes to you so fast. But that's what we're seeing here on the defense side. He's always wandering off. He told me, I'm going to be over there in the other field, and I'm like looking for him.
If you don't learn Spanish in this group, you're never going to learn, man.
They all speak English.
It's not good for you, though.
They're doing the same thing as they're all doing over there. They're all big leaguers. These guys are more minor leagues, but at the same time, they're taking it serious. They're not joking around, you know.
It's Yadier Molina facing Ryan Helsley.
It's 20th season coming up, and he's still fighting it. He's still doing it.
Helsley's trying to play with his mind.
He said his season started right when he put that uniform on for spring training.
What will you throw at him? Just fastball down the middle. 105. Aquí tienes que aprender.
Amateo, pero tú sabes que ya te la tienes.
Yo pensaba que esta era la rookie. ¿Dónde está la rookie?
If there was a helmet that fits me, I would bunt. But, nah.
This is treasure. These two guys, Ozzie, being around, you know, so this is crazy minds.
Has anybody ever told you you look like Bradley Cooper?
Yeah, actually, I have heard that one a couple times. I don't see it, but
Can you sing?
can I sing? No. God, no.
No?
Shower, maybe. You know, that's
No?
that's
Let's pretend you're in the shower. Give us a little shallow. You know that song, right?
something like that, right?
Yeah.
No, I
like,
don't.
tell me something more. Let's work on that. See ya, dude.
See ya.
He does look like Bradley Cooper.
There you have it. That's your inside look at Cardinals spring training in 2020. Hopefully, you get to come visit Jupiter soon. If not, see you at Busch Stadium. From Jupiter, Florida, Bengie Molina, Polo, Ascencio, signing off.
It's time for this week's Moment to Remember. You just spent some time on the practice field, and this week we're remembering the first spring training game too. Coming up next, I field a question from a special guest.
I would want to know when he's running into about to start his flip, like what are some major thoughts there to get the knees to, because I have tried to do that several times and I can't even do it on a trampoline, so I need help doing the flip.
Thanks for that question, Adam. What went through my mind before I flipped? Well, I wanted to make sure that I got enough height and made the rotation, because falling would not look good on opening day. The flip began back in 1978. As a rookie, we had to run 2 miles after we finished playing. I was not big on running long distances, so I was near the back of the pack as one of the young guys. So I had teammates like Gene Tennis, Dave Winfield, Gaylord Perry, who gave me a hard time about being the young guy at the back of the pack. So to show them that I wasn't tired, I did a round-off backflip. So the final day of the season, which was Fan Appreciation Day, they thought it would be a good idea for me to go do that going out to my position, which I reluctantly did, and lo and behold, it became a trademark. People liked it so much they asked me to do it opening day the following year. The last time that I did it was 2002, and it wasn't pretty. I skinned my knee and hurt my wrist. That was the last flip. Cardinal players spend their off-season all over the world. Do they prefer sandy beaches or snowy mountains? We find out on this week's Ask a Cardinal.
I like both, honestly. It depends on where. Probably no snow down here, but snow in Colorado. But yeah, probably I like both.
Sand, 1,000%. I'm from San Diego, so I pretty much grew up on the beaches.
Snow, for sure, because I am extremely pale. And where there is sand, there is sun. And where there is sun, there is sunburn. And I am a bit of a baby, so if I get sunburnt, I'm unhappy. And I don't like being unhappy. Plus, I love sweaters.
Sand, 100%.
I'd say snow just because I live in the sand. And it's, I've had that my whole life. But I also don't like being cold all the time, or shoveling snow, so I've got to go with sand.
See, I'm a Carolina guy, so we can have both, but if I had to pick, I'd say sand. I love the snow too, though, but probably sand.
That's it for this episode. You can always catch us online at cardinals.com/insider and on YouTube.